Welcome to the June the 19th edition of As the County Charter Review Commission Turns. Okay. We have a somewhat full agenda, but it should move pretty rapidly, I'm anticipating, so I want to get right to it. So I'm calling the meeting to order. There were minutes from June 11th that have been distributed. I would entertain a motion that they be accepted.
Want to do roll call first?
Oh, yeah. Snap. Let us call the roll.
For the June 19th meeting of the Charter Review Commission, we have Honorable Judge Adrian,
Here.
Diane Downing,
Here.
the Honorable Susan Drucker,
Here.
Dennis Kennedy,
Here.
Michael King, Tom Persiak,
Here.
Claire Rosacco, Victor Ruiz, and Davita Russell.
Okay, thank you. Diane, I want you to know that that mistake was because of the fact that I'm trying to get Dennis out of here as quickly as possible. His vacation starts.
Not the only one.
Yeah, his vacation starts as soon as I drop the gavel.
I gotcha.
Okay. Okay. We circulated also proposed amended language for the final report as it relates to the Inspector General position.
Your Honor, we didn't do the minutes,
Oh,
but I do have a change.
I'm really trying to get out of here.
Forget Dennis's vacation. I do have,
The minutes.
I do have one change on the fourth page. My comment, which is towards the bottom of the page, I asked if we should rescind the motion when we accepted our motion
Oh, not
and the
rescind.
language, instead of rescind, if that could be changed to rescind.
Make that change.
With that, I will move to approve the minutes.
Is
as
there a
read.
second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any unreadiness on the motion? Any unreadiness on the motion? Any unreadiness on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries. Now we'll move on to the proposed amendment to language for the final report as it relates to the Inspector General. Has everybody had an opportunity to review it?
Yes.
Take a quick look-see again.
There really isn't much change, so.
Not much at all. If it's acceptable, we'd entertain a motion to accept the proposed amendment.
Second?
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any unreadiness on the motion? Any unreadiness on the motion? Any unreadiness on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We also circulated the draft of the final report, which includes the amendment I think that we adopted last time concerning the Internal Audit Commission's request as it related to some technical language changes.
And it was correct.
And it was correct. Okay. And I don't know if there was anything, Michael, you had indicated that you were going to ask the folks for them to take a look.
Yeah, I sent the proposed rationale for that internal audit amendment to Corey Swaysgood, the Director of Internal Auditing, to just make sure he was comfortable and agreed that it was part of the intent of what was originally proposed. And he responded yesterday to say that it looks good. So we should be all right there.
That being the case, the language for the rationale has been circulated to you too. Is there any, well, can we entertain a motion? We accept that as part of the, never mind, let me back off. As part of the final report, that language is included along with the rationale. So if you've had an opportunity to review the final report, let me ask if there is a motion to adopt the final report for reference to County Council for its approval.
I just want to make a statement. I mean, I took the time to review it word for word, and I want to thank you for putting this together. It was very, very thorough, and I mean, it speaks for itself. And I know Michael just said he makes the motion. With your permission, I'll second it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded that we adopt and refer to County Council our recommendations as it relates to amendments to county charter in the final report that as it has been presented to you. Is there any unreadiness on the motion?
No, Judge?
Yes.
It's Diane.
Yeah, Diane.
I would just like to change my position on the Inspector General and vote to approve. So I don't know that affects the final report, but
Okay.
if we could just reflect it in the minutes.
She should make a motion then to amend the vote, I think.
Yeah,
Michael, what do we need to do?
On page 13, there's a vote total at the top of that page, right under the Inspector General item. So that would just be changed to reflect 8-0.
Thank you.
Do we need that in a motion?
Okay, well, that would be the safest way to do this, okay? So it's been moved that we amend the minutes from June 11th to reflect that as it relates to the vote on the Inspector General amendment, that that vote should now reflect 8-0.
I'll second that.
We moved and seconded that be the amendment to the minutes. Is there any unreadiness on the motion? Any unreadiness on the motion? Any unreadiness on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Back to the final report. It's been properly moved and seconded that we adopt the final report as presented and refer it to the County Council for their further consideration. Is there any unreadiness on that motion? I'll allow it. Technically speaking, I don't think that, but I'll allow it.
I just want to make sure, because it wasn't stated, that the amendment includes the revised language on the Inspector General amendment, which is not in the current document as presented.
Okay. It does. Okay. Any further unreadiness on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there any further discussion that needs to take place amongst those of us on the commission?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Michael.
I just want to say thank you to everybody for all your hard work on this commission. I also wanted to remind everyone that there will, at this point, it sounds like it's going to be at 1 o'clock on July 17th. The council, it will actually be a committee of the whole that will likely be chaired by our Council Operations and Intergovernmental Relations Chairwoman Nan Baker to first hear these items. They'll be referred at a prior meeting to committee, but that's when really most of the substantive discussion is going to take place. And I'd like to invite, obviously, everybody in this room to attend if they are available and so interested. There obviously
What
is
day is that?
It is, I believe it's a Tuesday, July 17th. Yeah. And so that will be the first hearing. My expectation is that all 4 of these items will be presented and discussed. And after that, we'll see sort of where council goes with it. But I just want to make sure everybody was aware and know that you're all welcome to come and present comment. So.
Yes.
Your Honor, just a comment on Councilman Miller's comment, my copy does have the former version. Our motion today was the new version and new rationale.
Right.
So we will have to substitute that in unless, right, because, okay, I just wanted to make sure, because
That's what the judge alluded to.
right, but I just want to make sure, because when I said it was in there, my version does not have anything reflecting that. So I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Yeah. He caught it. I think we had caught it before. It just didn't
Before this.
reflect in what you
That's
presented.
why I thought maybe I had a different version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And you all hadn't voted on accepting the change, so we were going to put it in once you all voted on it.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any further discussion amongst the members of the commission? Folks, let me just, since it appears that this will be our last formal meeting as a body, to also share the sentiments that Michael put forward. You know, it's been a pleasure to work with you. You've been a harmonious group. I think I said that the last time. And I think that we got a lot done. And that we did it expeditiously and we did it concisely, and now we'll just let the chips fall where they may. We'll see what council wants to do with it. Okay. Thank you again to everybody.
And thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're down to public input. And it appears that there is none. I see, however, in the audience today, all of the usual suspects. And I would like to, again, say to each one of you that those of us on the commission have appreciated your diligence and your attention to these important matters of governance. We profess to be a society that's governed by the people. It doesn't always look that way. But when we have these kind of opportunities and people take advantage of the fact that they do have the right to be heard and present to us and give us the opportunity as their servants to hear what their concerns are, what their suggestions are, what their ideas might be concerning the things that they know will impact on them at some point sooner or later, and if not on them, then perhaps their progeny. It's always a highlight, at least for me, to know that our democracy is still safe. So thank you. And with that, there appearing to be no further business to come before the body at this time, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion. Okay, we stand adjourned. Dennis, you're out of here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks, Diane.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We gotta stay in touch. That's expensive. Michael, take care. Nice meeting you. You stay in touch. I mean, really. Do you have my number or anything? Yeah, let me give you this. You can find me at least. Thank you. All right. Good. Pleasure working with you. Likewise.
Thank you. Thank you.